Hello there. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive on change while others feel physically ill at the mere thought of a new routine? We often label this behavior as laziness or a lack of ambition, but the reality is far more complex and deeply rooted in our psychology. The comfort zone is not just a metaphorical place where we feel safe, it is a psychological state where a person feels at ease and control and experiences low anxiety and stress. But why do some individuals refuse to leave it even when they know it is limiting their potential? Today, we are going to explore the psychology of people who never leave their comfort zone, dissecting the biological, emotional, and cognitive mechanisms that keep the cage door locked from the inside. To understand this, we first have to look at biology. For a significant portion of human history, safety was the priority, not growth. Our brains are wired to perceive the unknown as a potential threat. For someone deeply entrenched in their comfort zone, the brain's amygdala, which is the center for emotional processing and fear, is often hyperactive when they consider taking a risk, applying for a new job, or moving to a new city. Their brain doesn't just see a challenge, it signals a survival threat. This triggers a physiological response, increased heart rate, shallow breathing, and a flood of cortisol. For these individuals, staying put isn't a logical choice, it is a biological imperative to avoid pain. They are not necessarily happy where they are, but they are chemically addicted to the predictability of their current environment because predictability signals safety to a primal part of their brain. If you are finding this analysis interesting so far, consider subscribing to the channel to explore more about the human mind with us. Beyond biology, we have to talk about the illusion of control. The comfort zone provides a controlled environment where variables are known. Even if a person is in a bad situation, perhaps a toxic relationship or a dead-end job, they often choose to stay because they know exactly how that bad situation plays out every day. There is a psychological concept known as ambiguity aversion. This is a preference for known risks over unknown risks. People who never leave their comfort zone often have a very low tolerance for ambiguity. They would rather deal with a guaranteed negative outcome than gamble on a potentially positive one that carries a degree of uncertainty. This need for control often stems from a deeper insecurity or a past trauma where they felt helpless. By keeping their world small, they ensure that nothing can surprise them, protecting themselves from the chaos of the unpredictable world outside. This brings us to a fascinating dilemma that I would love to hear your thoughts on. Do you think people stay in their comfort zone more because they are afraid of failing or because they are secretly afraid of the responsibility that comes with succeeding? It is a tricky question. Take a moment to think about it and share your perspective in the comments below. I am genuinely curious to read your theories on this. Moving deeper into the psychology, we encounter the perfectionist trap. It might seem contradictory, but many people who refuse to try new things are actually perfectionists. They have a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, abilities are seen as static. Therefore, if you try something new and fail, it doesn't mean you are learning, it means you are not good enough. This fear of being exposed as incompetent is paralyzing. For these individuals, the comfort zone is the only place where they can maintain their self-image of competence. If they never try to learn a new language, they can never fail at it. If they never write that book, they can never face a bad review. By not doing, they protect their ego from the potential bruise of imperfection. They prioritize the preservation of their self-image over the expansion of their skills. Another powerful psychological factor is the concept of learned helplessness. This occurs when an individual has faced repeated challenges or failures in the past that were out of their control. Eventually, they condition themselves to believe that no matter what they do, the outcome will not change, so they stop trying. This apathy looks like contentment to the outside observer, but internally it is a state of resignation. They have convinced themselves that agency is an illusion. When opportunities to escape their comfort zone arise, they don't even recognize them as opportunities. They see them as false hope. This is often reinforced by their social circle. If a person surrounds themselves with others who also fear growth, they create an echo chamber that validates their inaction. Leaving the comfort zone then becomes not just a personal risk, but a social risk as it threatens to alienate them from their peers. If this deep dive is resonating with you, a quick like helps this video reach others who might need to hear it. Finally, we must consider the long-term cost of this psychology, the accumulation of regret. There is a temporal disconnect in the human brain. We are very good at prioritizing immediate comfort over long-term fulfillment. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, while the pain of regret weighs tons, but the pain of regret is distant, while the comfort of the sofa is immediate. People who never leave their comfort zone are essentially mortgaging their future happiness to pay for their present security. Over time, this creates a shrinking world. The comfort zone naturally contracts. What was comfortable 10 years ago becomes stifling today. As the world moves forward and they stand still, their anxiety about the outside world actually grows. The longer they wait to step out, the terrifying the jump becomes. It is a compounding interest of fear. However, understanding this psychology is the first step toward dismantling it. It is not about taking a massive leap of faith. It is about expanding the perimeter of the zone inch by inch. It involves retraining the brain to associate uncertainty not with danger, but with possibility. It requires reframing failure not as an indictment of character, but as data for improvement. The people who break free are not fearless. They have simply decided that the pain of staying the same is finally greater than the fear of change. Thank you for spending this time with us today. If you found value here, consider sharing this with someone who might be standing at a crossroads, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Until next time,